Sports, Ryan Blaney wins for Ford and Roger Penske.
Yeah. Good job.
Capping a huge weekend in Phoenix.
Bubba Wallace was having one of his best races at Phoenix Raceway. His car was fast, his strategy was working, and a strong finish looked almost certain. Then something unbelievable happened. NASCAR officials said he broke the pit road speed limit by just 0.08 miles per hour. That tiny number sent him to the back of the field. But what happened next turned this race into one of the most surprising comebacks of the season. For Bubba Wallace and the 23XI racing team, the race carried important expectations. The organization has been steadily building itself into a serious competitor in the NASCAR Cup Series. Backed by NBA, legend Michael Jordan and veteran driver Denny Hamlin, the team has invested heavily in equipment, engineering, and driver performance. Wallace has become the face of the team and has worked hard to establish himself as one of the sport's rising competitors. Over the past few seasons, he has shown impressive speed on several types of tracks and has delivered strong finishes that demonstrate his growing confidence behind the wheel. The race at Phoenix started in a promising way for Wallace. The number 23 Toyota showed strong pace from the beginning of the event. Wallace looked comfortable navigating the tight corners of the 1-mile track while battling with some of the best drivers in the sport. As the laps progressed, he managed his tires carefully and stayed within reach of the front group. Phoenix Raceway demands patience and precision because drivers must balance aggression with control. Wallace appeared to find that balance early, keeping his car clean while slowly positioning himself for a competitive finish. Pit stops are one of the most critical moments in any NASCAR race, and they are especially important at tracks like Phoenix, where passing opportunities are limited. Drivers must enter pit road at high speed, slow the car down to meet the speed limit, stop precisely in their pit box for the crew to change tires and refuel, and then exit pit road without losing time. The process requires perfect coordination between the driver and the pit crew. Even the smallest mistake can cost valuable positions on the track. One of the strictest rules during pit stops involves the pit road speed limit. Every NASCAR track has a designated maximum speed for pit lane to protect the safety of pit crews who work only a few feet away from moving cars. NASCAR monitors this rule with electronic timing loops placed along pit road. These sensors measure the average speed of each car as it travels through different sections of the pit lane. If a driver exceeds the speed limit even slightly, the system automatically records the violation and a penalty is issued. During one of his pit stops at Phoenix, Wallace encountered the moment that changed the entire direction of his race. As he exited pit road, NASCAR officials determined that his car had gone over the pit road speed limit. The amount by which he exceeded the limit was almost unbelievable. Wallace had gone over by just 0.08 miles per hour. The difference was less than 1/10 of a mile per hour, a number so small that a driver would never be able to feel it inside the car while focusing on the race. Despite how tiny the difference was, NASCAR rules are extremely strict when it comes to pit road speed enforcement. The electronic timing system does not allow for interpretation or judgment calls. If the recorded speed is above the limit, the penalty is automatic. As a result, Wallace was issued a pit road speeding penalty that forced him to drop to the back of the field. At a track like Phoenix, where passing is difficult, losing track position can be devastating for a driver's chances of finishing near the front. Fans watching the race were stunned when the penalty was announced. Many people could not believe that a driver could be punished for exceeding the speed limit by such a tiny amount. Discussions quickly spread across social media as viewers debated whether the rule was too strict. Some fans argued that NASCAR should allow a small tolerance margin to prevent penalties caused by such small differences. Others defended the rule, pointing out that pit road safety requires clear and consistent enforcement for every driver. Wallace was not the only driver who ran into trouble on pit road during the race. Several other competitors were also penalized for speeding violations. Among the drivers who received similar penalties were Kyle Busch and Kyle Larson. The number of pit road penalties during the event showed just how difficult it can be for drivers to perfectly judge their speed while entering and exiting pit lane during the intensity of a race. After serving the penalty, Wallace faced one of the most difficult challenges in NASCAR. Starting from the back of the field, he had to fight his way through heavy traffic against some of the most talented drivers in the world. Passing at Phoenix requires patience because drivers must carefully choose the right moment to make a move. The tight corners and narrow racing lines mean that forcing an aggressive pass can easily lead to contact or damage. Instead of letting frustration take over, Wallace stayed focused and began working his way forward through the field. Lap after lap, he started passing cars and recovering the positions that had been lost due to the penalty. The number 23 Toyota continued to show strong speed, allowing Wallace to close the gap to the cars ahead of him. His ability to manage tire wear and maintain consistent lap times played an important role in the comeback. Each restart during the race created another opportunity for Wallace to gain positions. Restarts at Phoenix are known for producing aggressive racing as drivers fight for every inch of track space. Wallace took advantage of these moments by making smart moves and avoiding unnecessary risks. His careful approach helped him continue climbing through the field while keeping the car in strong condition for the final stage of the race. As the race entered its later laps, the comeback was becoming more impressive with every passing moment. Wallace had already recovered a large number of positions and was now competing among the top drivers again. The ability to fight back from the rear of the field demonstrated both the speed of the 23X1 racing car and the determination of the driver behind the wheel. The final stage of the race brought even more intensity as drivers pushed their cars to the limit in the battle for position. Phoenix Raceway often produces dramatic finishes, and this event was no exception. Wallace continued to drive with discipline and confidence, taking advantage of opportunities whenever other drivers made mistakes or struggled with tire wear. When the checkered flag finally waved, Bubba Wallace crossed the finish line in 6th place. Considering the circumstances of the race, it was an impressive result. A pit road speeding penalty often ruins a driver's chances of finishing near the front, especially at a track where passing is so challenging. Wallace's ability to recover from the setback and secure a top 10 finish showed the resilience of both the driver and the entire 23XI racing team. After the race, the story of the 0.08 mile/hour penalty quickly became one of the most talked about moments of the event. Fans, analysts, and commentators continued to discuss whether such a small difference should trigger a penalty that carries such serious consequences. While the debate may continue, the incident highlighted just how precise NASCAR racing has become in the modern era. For Bubba Wallace, the race at Phoenix served as both a reminder of the sport's unforgiving nature and a demonstration of his determination as a driver. One tiny number almost derailed his race, but instead of letting it define the day, he responded with one of the strongest comeback performances of the event. By the end of the race, the 6th-place finish stood as proof that persistence and focus can turn even the most frustrating setbacks into a positive result.